What's going on, everybody? Nick Overby here. It's the New Agent Podcast, brother. Yeah, man, it is good, dude. I got Zach Scott in the building.
What's going on, fellas?
This is my motherfucking boy.
Man, it's been a journey.
Dude, more so. I mean, you're one of the original OGs I had on this this series, or at least the New Agent Podcast.
Yeah,
And
man.
I was sitting here thinking about it today, and it's like this has a different level of energy for me, because I know you so well, and the experiences I've had
bonded,
with you.
man.
Yeah, I know, man. It's
for sure.
It's super crazy, dude. But so I started in August. When did you start here?
August 1st, man. I got licensed July 27th.
Okay, so July 27th is the day I started here.
Yeah, so that's the day I got out of training, got my license. I passed my license, so I got here probably mid-July.
Dude, that's so crazy to think about. So the transformation has been super fucking real.
Crazy. Life-changing.
It's literally life-changing, right? I think if anybody has watched this, they see that. Anybody that's watched or been part of anything we do. I mean, because we all now at this point, through social media and through everything else, run in the same circles pretty much, whether that's outside or inside of work. I mean, everything's really much the same. So,
I mean, just not even the fact that how far we've come as agents, but man, the whole office as a whole. It's kind of crazy too, huh?
It's absolutely nuts.
Knocking down the wall, new construction. It's crazy.
Adding 2,000 square feet and another 15, 20 agents.
Nuts.
How many agents were here when you started?
I want to say 12 or 13.
How many do we have now? 32, 33 maybe?
Quite a few, man.
Dude, that's so wild.
We're creeping up on 40.
And I've been here since, it's about 7 months. This is month 8 for me. April is. Wow. So I want to figure out a way to splice in the old New Agent Podcast with you and me on it.
Yeah, chop it up a little bit,
dude, because we were both wearing raggedy ass shirts, looked beat up. We made no money.
Telling you,
had no success.
Trying to this man was trying to start something. Nobody was believing it. Podcast, what the heck?
Right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, look at me now. They got 28 hours. I got over 11,000 views on a video.
We're booming.
All game, baby. What I need to figure out is how to get my my sales game up like you.
Yeah. Tell me everything I know, man.
Jeez. Well, apparently I'm not implementing any of it because it is what it is. We're still having fun, man. I'm still here. I'm still loving it. Yeah, it's crazy. So what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Book of business has grown quite a bit. Dude, I owe a lot of my success to you. No. A lot of it.
No.
This man came in here and I had no idea what he was talking about, coming in here from construction and coming all suited up on your first day. This guy
Who's eating the Cheez-Its?
Yeah, this guy looked like a bulldog. I called him out for eating the Cheez-Its. I thought he was some corporate asshole or something. Man, I'm grateful to be where I'm at, man. It's been a fun journey.
What's crazy is that we've gotten to do it with an amazing group of people.
Yeah, a lot of relationships.
Yeah, in crazy ways too. I mean, just the way that everything unfolds. People you never thought you'd meet and become cool with, and then vice versa, where it's like I've known you, and then it's like, I never really liked you, and then you end up spending all your time with them, and
now we really know you.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, bro, it's crazy, man. And it's funny because it's kind of funny how the journey kind of comes full circle. I was thinking about this earlier with
full circle, baby.
Yeah. I mean, as in sales, when you're failing, you get back to the basics. In life, things kind of come back to the same way. For me, it's like, what am I not doing? And it's got to get back to the basics. But with this is kind of funny to me because as much as I love the presence of Nick and having the honor to do the Nick and Nick Insurance Dudes podcast and the love we received.
About that, man. That was awesome.
I had a blast.
Yeah, that was a good little run there.
Yeah, it was. Unfortunately, the politics of the big man in red, the guy with the khakis.
Yeah.
We are not unable to bring Nick back, and that's okay. But Nick's got to run an agency.
My ex-wife hated that guy too, man. The red shirt and the khakis.
Hey man, look, Nick's hustling, dude, and Nick is grinding. And here's the funny thing is that you said that you learned a lot from me, and I think I have to give Nick a big thank you because I've learned a lot from Nick. And
yeah, man.
It is unfortunate that he can't be a part of this. It's not gonna means he's not gonna ever come back, but we also have an opportunity to showcase new agents, and
I'm also looking forward to this summer, Nick. It's gonna be a good time, man.
Yeah, buddy.
gonna be
You
a good
already
time.
know what it is. June 24th.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
Debauchery at Lake Lanier. It'll
Bring
be
the
fun.
sunscreen.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely gonna bring the sunscreen. So man, I mean, let's just be completely candid, man. From the first time when we first met, you had a little bit of success at the very beginning and then struggled, and then I caught success. And so it's weird how the flip-flop happens, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
but what I have to say about you is that you've always been really consistent. And I think that's again a huge thing here. So what for you has been the motivator, right? I mean, like, how have you kept that going? Because from when we first met, and we talked about this right before open enrollment, standing downstairs talking to each other outside, and this level of stress and disconcern that
Yeah,
you
man.
had for what was going on, and then but you continue to do it, right? And then you now have been blowing out of the water, fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly so. So, what's going on? What's the motivation here?
Man, it's just, I would say that grit, and staying humble, because like you said, we started open enrollment, man. I wasn't doing as well as I thought I would. I almost walked away at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I was terrified. I wasn't making any money, going back to my old lifestyle ways, not liking who I was becoming. And I finally had to take a look at myself in the mirror, man, and honestly just say, screw what everybody else is thinking. Nobody else is going to pay my bills. Stop trying to do what you think is cool and start doing what you need to, basically. I also got a lot of my success, man, from you guys and some of these new guys in here. I love training these guys and seeing how happy they get when they're clicking and stuff starts popping for them and they start to understand. Dude, it makes me think about when I was new and Andrew and Chris and Perry and all these guys were helping me learn.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's I'm helping change these people's lives. You know what I mean? I'm going to be a stepping stone in these people's lives, hopefully, in the best way imaginable. They'll always remember me.
It's funny. I remember Johnny Biggers and I was talking about this the other day, and I mean, he's been put into a position to really get some bad success, and he's taken that opportunity and ran with it. And he said, Nick, when I first started, like the first couple of days, I had no money. I was, and I didn't know when I had to get my fingerprints, it was going to cost me $60. And he goes, when you flat said, whatever it takes, here's my card, go pay for it.
Yeah.
He was like, because of that, I wouldn't be here.
Dude, you change people's lives.
What we do as a den, like that's the point. Like you've done things for me, like the conversations, you being real with me on certain topics that, me being just fucking naive but you calling me on my shit, and we all do that.
Yeah.
And that's what's important.
There's a certain level of respect for each other as well. Most places you go to, you see somebody doing something wrong or something you don't agree with, you won't say anything to them because it's a coworker. Here we're a family. If somebody says something we don't agree with, or you know what I mean, or something we don't like, it's not a problem. We're going to address it as a one, figure out a solution to move forward, man. It's never any hate. That's what I love.
So I guess I should quit acting like everybody knows who you are, because I know you so well. So, just from the outpour of engagement I've seen coming back to the New Agent podcast, I'd like for you to kind of reintroduce who you are. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, your story, and how you got here. I think that's important for everybody to know who you are. And then honestly, man, I mean, like, look, dude, this series, what I'm doing once a week, the Agent Spotlight, is important because it's important for us. We all talk about how important our family is, but it's important for me to recognize everybody, and myself included. I don't think I recognize myself personally enough. And so that's part of what this is, because selfishly for me, this content also creates engagement for me, but more so for you guys, because this is always going to be about me, right? This is my podcast, right?
For sure.
But I want you to have an opportunity to tell people who you are, because well, I mean, like, look at it, dude. This agency, I had a conversation with this lady today who I met, or who I got connected through Connected. And it was cool to be able to say, there's 40 or so agents in this office, and we're the number one agency roughly week in and week out. And if not, we're going to be in the top 5 to 10
every time.
And look,
every time.
And we're going up against agencies that have 100 people in them. And we have a third of that. 170
in some of them, 200 agents in some of these places.
And we're writing the same amount.
We're writing more than those guys sometimes.
And we say writing, for those of you guys who don't, or maybe new to this, like, we're in the insurance business, but ultimately it's getting people into policies that
are good for them.
Yeah. 100%.
Are good for them.
Yeah. And look, I mean, that's not going to happen every time. The conversation I had today was was spawned because an agent didn't treat somebody well,
Yeah.
and that's going to happen. That's why people come to us. So, man,
We're here not to sell you, but to make sure you're not already sold.
Yeah. I mean, I
Matt
always tell
Heath,
people,
man, that's a game changer.
dude, that bro, and he keeps giving me shit about coming on the podcast,
Man,
and every time I'm like,
that
bro,
guy
come on.
that guy's blown up, man.
It's funny.
Matt
I've had
Heath's- he has a
conversations,
story.
I mean, with him in the car and just talking to him about where he started, and like, dude, I don't know, like, honestly,
I don't know if I
he's
could
got
do it.
100%. Like, he's probably one of very few people I know that could, drive. We're talking fucking 13,000 or whatever, 1,300 miles away.
Yeah.
Be with your daughter. If he was alone, I mean, maybe, but you're with your daughter. You're looking out for somebody else
Yeah,
who,
man.
and that's rough. I mean, but he's
built different. That's the only way to describe him.
he's making more money than me and you right now.
Built
I can
different,
guarantee
man.
that.
Yeah, that guy's rocking and rolling.
So
Love it.
let's talk about you, man. Tell me about your story. Day one. Where are you from?
Yeah, man. So I actually was born here in Fort Worth. I actually grew up on this street right here, Mark's Place. Moved out to Granbury, Texas, a little small town. Lived out there my whole life, played football there. Came from a little bit of a broken home, we'll say. Stepdad, my mom definitely liked to party quite a bit. So I come from that lifestyle. Didn't really know what I was going to do, after high school. Need the claps there. Yeah, man. Didn't know what I was going to do after high school. So I joined the Navy. Thank you. Navy stands for never again volunteer yourself. Okay. Getting them. Yeah, man. Joined the Navy, got out, started doing some construction sales, 9-to-5 job. Absolutely hated it. I was just miserable, man. COVID came. I got laid off. Saw Perry make a post on Indeed. You want to come change people's lives? So I did in the Navy. I was a cop. Reported quite a bit of stuff. Did some law enforcement, some anti-terrorism stuff.
He's not a snitch, folks.
It was a good time. It was a good time, man. Learned a lot. Made me who I was for sure.
Yeah.
Got out, like I said, for 3 years. I was kind of floating around. Had this job, but I hated it. Started hanging out with my old crowd again, not going down the right path, doing stupid shit. Saw this post, man, and came in for the interview. This crazy asshole. What is this guy talking about, man?
Yeah.
This is a cult. Come drink the Kool-Aid type of stuff. And I did. I came and drank the Kool-Aid. And never looked back. I help one person every single day, whether it's not necessarily a sell, getting somebody a new policy or a better policy, but that's my goal every day, is to try to help somebody other than myself.
And here's the coolest part, is that if you don't have an opportunity to do it with somebody that you don't know, you can do it here.
With somebody you do know, exactly.
Yeah.
Even if it's going downstairs and talking to somebody, tell me what's going on with your life, man. You didn't smile today. You're not acting yourself. Just asking that one simple question, that one extra question could, man, completely change somebody's life, completely change somebody's day around,
Dude, it's funny. I was listening to Owen Jim. It's a country. I don't know, is it the 97? It's a country station. Anyways, I was listening to it this morning because I don't know. They do the second date updates on Wednesday mornings, where like somebody goes out on a date and then they call into the radio station because it went bad or good.
Yeah.
And so the girl, what is it? What's her name? Rachel's Hollywood. I don't know. The girl on the show, I just completely lost my train of thought, was talking about talking to people, and the types of people who are, some people are complete introverts and some people are extroverts. And I think you as a salesman, as a good salesman, you need to be able to do both.
Yeah.
Because I think being an introvert means you can focus your time, and like me personally,
being by yourself.
Exactly. Like I'm, there's a test called the Insights test, and I remember when I did this in a corporate job, they define you in 4 separate colors, right? And so like sunshine yellow is bright, outgoing, blah blah blah, which obviously is where I fit right the fuck in.
Yeah.
Red is like hard-nosed, defined, strict. Blue is
Be a little bit of Taylor Poe there.
Yeah, exactly. And so but anyways, I was yellow red, where I was strict and to the point, but very flamboyant and outgoing, and where extrovert, being an extrovert is obviously up my alley. And I think
have to be a chameleon.
Takes both. Yeah,
but
dude.
not in a bad way.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. My dad, Val Overby, said the best part about being a good salesman is being able to talk to anybody and everybody and be able to relate to them.
Yeah, man. Always.
So you've been in sales. How long before this were you doing something? It wasn't too long.
I wouldn't say sales. I would say this is my, I guess, first sales gig. Okay. My last one. It
was your first commission sales job for sure, right?
Yeah. Last one I was on a salary. It was more business to business, going to get a company to sign up with my company.
Yeah.
Not really a commission or
Yep.
sales gig at all. So I'd say my first sales gig is this, man. Started in August.
Okay. Would you recommend this job
Life-changing.
on a scale of 1 to 10?
Life changing.
Yeah.
I mean, a 25 on a scale of 1 to 10.
How so for you?
Man, this was the first time in my life that I'm not behind on a car payment. The first time in my life I'm able to take a vacation if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to take my parents on a vacation this summer. I mean, it's completely life-changing, and not just the money aspect, right? Because money, people say money doesn't buy happiness. It doesn't buy fulfillment, right? Just like Nate said, money buys happiness, but it does not buy fulfillment.
Dude, that's the truest shit I've ever heard.
And I mean, you can live the happiest life in the world, but be a demon, be trapped,
Yeah.
And I try to, I find myself in that mix quite a bit, but man, with you guys here and the atmosphere, the people I get to talk to on the phone and the stories I hear, it makes everything so fulfilling.
So something that I talked about on the New Agent Podcast episode 1 with Ryan Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
Was mental health.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm making it a point, at least in every podcast, to talk 2 or 3 minutes about mental health.
It's not talked about enough.
No, it's not. I mean, look, we're all unique. One thing that makes us different is that we're men. We live on the stigma that we don't share our feelings. We don't talk about them. Perry used to always tell me that he loved this. And I still agreed that I leave my feelings in my truck or now in my Volvo. And I try to.
Yeah, baby.
Doesn't always happen, but that isn't necessarily the best motto to live by, because at some point you have to open up the compartments and release the energy. So what are some ways you've been learning how to do that? Obviously, being your first sales job, there's probably a lot of firsts and unknowns.
Yeah.
What are some ways you're dealing with that?
Talking about it, man. I mean, like you said, mental health is not talked about enough. As men growing up, we're taught not to show emotion.
Mm-hmm.
We're taught to kind of hide our feelings and stick your chest down, fight through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a struggle here, man, because it is 100% sales. So you don't make any money, man. You're broke. That's a roller coaster of sales at any sales job you have. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. You have to balance the outside world, what's going on at your house. I find a lot of refuge with you guys, man. Y'all are my family. Talk to you quite a bit. Everybody in there knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You just have to talk. You have to get it off your chest. You have to get in those uncomfortable situations and make yourself comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah. You have to be vulnerable.
Have to.
That's one thing that Elizabeth Lunsford taught me. Shout out, Liz. What's up, baby girl?
Yeah, no, you have to put your ego aside, man. Swallow your pride and understand that this guy that I'm talking to might know more than me, or this lady I'm talking to might know more than me. She might be able to tell me something I don't know. Stop looking out the peephole. Take a step back and look out the window.
I think we're all guilty of seeing inspirational quotes and seeing things that make us feel better about ourselves and then wanting to share them and then not necessarily understanding the underlying truth of them, right?
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair in a lot of things that we deal with on a daily basis here. And I had a point to this and I just completely went sideways with it and I lost my train of thought.
Oh well. I find myself kind of being a hypocrite with that mental health thing, man, because I like to speak a lot of positivity.
Yeah.
And tell all these new agents good stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Understanding the true underlying factor of what it is and practicing what you preach. I have found,
I don't necessarily do that all the time.
Dude, yeah, no, it's we say these things because they sound good, and then once we try to act upon them, it's much harder, and then we become hypocrites, like you said, because we don't have the wherewithal of understanding the implications of the actions we have just taken.
But that's also, the fun and the mystery of life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't be I mean, shit, man. I'm being a hypocrite right now, but dude, pull the trigger. You know what I mean? If you're weary about something or you're scared of the unknown, that's the fun of life. You can't go through your life being trapped, man. You'll never have fun.
It reminds me of a story. Riding with a young man up an elevator after he had just shot a video and was questioning me if he should post it or not. And my response was, fucking hit the post button.
Hell yeah, man.
And it's just do. But, again, back to the point, to me, it's easy sometimes.
100 views on that one.
How many?
3,500
Really?
for you click and post.
Oh man,
For you click and post for
that's
me.
legit, man. I love that, dude. So that's fucking amazing. Really?
Crazy shit, huh? Fear of the unknown. I was
So-
scared to post this video. I showed it to Nick. He got about halfway through it, and he looked up at me and said, "Fuck him," and hit post. Man, it's one of like the top viewed videos on my
That's cool.
Facebook.
Let's
Fear of the unknown.
all right. Well, let's figure out a way to make this one of the top viewed New Agent podcasts, not only on YouTube but on Spotify.
On
and
Spotify. All
yeah.
of it.
If anybody, yeah, you know, it's
So
funny.
I
I
can
get
start
more.
to take my clothes off, but
Well,
wouldn't work on Spotify.
I mean, you know, we could figure something out.
Bring the money in.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it on Vimeo. There's all sorts of ways.
There we
Trust
go,
me.
man.
I got all sort. All I need is the RSS feed. I could plug it in.
Plug
anywhere.
everything in.
Yeah, man. It's this is a crazy world, and you know, it's this for me. I'll tell you what we're talking as far as talking about things.
Yeah.
And I want to preface this with, it's funny the way an environment can change how you express yourself. What I mean by that is that when Nick and I decided to do the Nick and Nick Insurance Dudes podcast, the format changed, which caused me to change. And I have found that doing the New Agent podcast, I'm able to have an easier release. And I think I've been trying to figure out the best way to deal with that because, you know, my emotion is that I don't want Nick to come off as like thinking that it wasn't good, and you know that I don't want to feel like I'm an asshole and all this stuff. But
Yeah,
it
you're
was
trying
like,
to be a good partner.
yeah, but I think at the end of the day, it all happened for the way it should have happened, and this is now my outlet, which is what it was in the beginning, and this can be looked at as not money making activity in some sense, which it might not necessarily be, but you know what's money making activity is me being in the right headspace to do the money making activity, and this is part of that.
I agree.
So this is fun, and
I'm happy to hear that this is your release, man. I
love it, dude. I mean,
I know you're always talking about it, but I never knew.
It's invigorating. There's something about you talked about ego, and I'll tie in vanity with that because they come hand in hand. But dude, we're in sales. And like, look, if anybody right now is listening or watching this and you're in sales and you're gonna sit here and tell me that you do it solely for the good, you're full of fucking shit.
No way.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said something earlier about people say money doesn't buy happiness. It's all about perspective, you know. And what's that scene from Boiler Room where it's like money doesn't buy happiness? Bullshit. I drive a Ferrari 455 Cabriolet, you know, and it's not like, dude, I drive a Volvo. It's not about that. And yes, the money is nice, but it just adds on to the happiness. Like this is the den is my banana split. The check I get every Monday deposited into my bank account is simply the cherries, the whipped cream, and the nuts that come on top. And I like caramels. So it's the caramel too.
There we go.
You know,
caramel man myself.
Yeah, hell yeah,
like
bro.
that.
Dude, bro.
Go get some ice cream when we leave here.
Dude, don't even test me right now because pinkberry frozen yogurt with blueberries, strawberries, and caramel. And it's sugar free too.
I made sherbet, man.
Dude,
orange
for real, bro.
Orange and lemon lime.
Is that what that's about?
That's what it's about, baby.
Wait, explain that.
It's my Navy tattoo. Yeah, so when I was in the Navy, we probably can't see. There we go. We got orange sherbet, lemon lime, and a waffle cone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, me and my buddies, some of my best friends, De Leon, Valiente, we were just drinking in the barracks one day, and one of our supervisors, best friends, you know, bought a tattoo gun. We're out in Bahrain. And we got drunk one day playing video games, man.
Tattoo guns and green suits.
It was a good time. Bahrain was a fun time.
Dude.
Anybody was in the military and been out to Bahrain, you know.
It's funny. So
I go to Wranglers.
I watched it. I don't even want to know. I watched a Formula One series on Netflix, and they now have a dual circuit in Bahrain.
Man, the Royal Bahraini Golf Course, the circuit track out there. I mean, that is some of the most beautiful land I've ever seen in my life. That golf course they have out there is.
It's the only Formula crazy. One race that has a double header where they go back-to-back weekends because the course has two tracks. One is an inner track and one is an outer track.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
Wow.
That's though, if God willing, I don't know yet. As
Inshallah, that's what they would say in Bahrain.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
God willing.
Was it Inshallah? So no, that's Salam Alaikum. I can never talk about that. But you know, there is a Formula One race here in the States. Okay, and it's in Austin at Circuit of Americas.
Okay.
Last year they didn't do it because of COVID. I had tickets because it's 2 days before my birthday. So if this year I have the credit, I didn't get the refund. If it goes on this year, November 20th through 22nd in Austin, Texas at Circuit of Americas, We're going to watch
Let's
the
do
Formula
it.
One.
We're going to Austin this weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, Austin's legit, bro.
Yeah, let's
I
do
gotta
it, man.
Austin. I got a girl down there that needs to see me, but that's all their story. What's up, Geneva? How you doing? I don't know if she watches this.
She's going to now.
I'm gonna have to let her know. Beautiful Italian woman. That's the girl
And,
I was telling you about. Who?
You know it's real because you said the name.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have a funny story. So.
Is she gonna think it's funny?
Yes. Well, we've joked about it before.
Let's
So
hear
I
it.
stole a comforter from her. I dated this girl many moons ago. Back when I was like 22, she was 19, and I was working at I was the bar manager at the Lemon Bar. So this is 2009.
Okay. They got a lemon bar in Jack's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this was a whole different beast though. This was 3-hour waits for chicken and waffles and bottomless.
Big money out there. Huh?
It was wild, dude.
Wow.
Making $1,000 on brunch Sundays. It was nuts. But that's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, we had a lot of fun. She was an amazingly beautiful woman. She still is.
You stole
That's the girl.
comforter.
Yeah, that was the girl I told you about who goes to Carnival every year. Right.
We were just talking about that today, actually.
Yep. And so her dad's Italian, and she lives in Austin. Her name is Geneva. She's probably like 5'3".
I look forward to meeting you, my dear.
Great body, great little body. Oh God, I will do dirty things. We've already talked about this. I'm not worried about it. Anywho, so all right, man.
On this one.
Yeah, look, so we're right at we're creeping up on 30 minutes. For the agent spotlight, I want to keep it under 30 minutes because this is more just a conversation to talk about life and how things are going. And
yeah, man.
I mean, dude, like you've got full access to the podcast, so
I love it.
yeah. I'm going to tell everybody I love them, and I'm gonna let you close it out. So I love you guys. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. It's important that you do that. For me, it is not for you, but that you consider
For you
it to
as
be
well,
so.
though.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously do so, and that within itself tickles me silly. So without that, or I guess without further ado, I bid you adieu. Have a good night. Zach, close it out.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure as always. Until we meet again. I love you guys.
Holla.